Welcome to another update video. We got some news on Herman, but more on that later. First of all, I want to cover the recent review videos that I have been doing the last few months. In particular, the comments that I've been getting. But I want to just say that I've got no more review videos planned other than the Lana Guard video that I've been working on. I've received some requests from companies, including an e-bike company. What interests me about this e-bike is that it's made locally to me. So that I find something that I might get just contact them and see what they say. Now, comments on these review videos sometimes are just a bit baffling to me. Some of them I don't quite understand where they're coming from. So for instance, a few of the comments that I get on these review videos say something on the lines of that I'm selling my soul to the devil, or that, oh, you're getting like this channel, or you're getting a bit like that channel where they're just doing reviews all the time. I don't actually do these review videos for the sales commission. So you might get 10% or 8% or whatever, but since no one's actually buying these products because they're so expensive, you don't get anything for it, or get comments saying you need to do more travel videos, which I kind of agree with, but unfortunately life gets in the way, and Zoe's not got much holiday allowance, so we can't always go away all the time. Or they tell us that, oh, we're unsubscribing. I don't understand that one either, because surely they're going to miss out on videos, the type of videos that they subscribe to in the first place, like our travel vlogs, right? I don't understand it. And you don't have to watch every video that we release. I'd love it if you did, but to me it's like you have a favourite show on BBC One, but you're not going to watch BBC One ever because it also has your worst show that they have. Does it make sense? No. Do I make sense? Most of the time I don't. You're just going to have to put up with me. And of course the thumbnail and the title normally tell you what you're going to watch. So if it says it's a review video and you don't want to see a review video about X, Y and Z, you don't have to watch it. But talking of videos, talking of thumbnails and titles though, what surprises me is that these update videos are more popular in terms of views, are more popular than our travel videos. Now we've now just reached 13,800 subscribers, but in comparison with our travel views, the views that we get on our travel videos, they're quite low. Looking at other channels, they're quite low, which, why is that? Now, it's obviously got something to do with the title and the thumbnail, I think, because in the title and the thumbnail, if it doesn't have any drama or sparks a question in your head, then, it's not going to get people's imagination and want to click on it and want to watch it. Travel videos don't tend to have much drama in them. Now, I know some channels do manage it and their views are extremely high, and our last video, when I went to Chroma to do some delivery of the power stations, that got quite a few views because of the problem that I had with the bed. Originally, my idea was going to be Herman becomes a courier or something like that, which, if now thinking about it, is a bit boring, right? That wouldn't have got many views, not the amount of views that we've got at the moment. I think we've got about 21,000 on that particular video right now. The thumbnails and title, to me, it's like the news headline. Now, if you've got a paper and you're looking through the paper, you check out the news headline first, and if it doesn't spark your attention, then you're not going to read the actual article. Let me know what you think. Do you actually enjoy me waffling on to a camera with a lake behind me with no travel involved whatsoever, just giving you an update on us? And then talking about, there's another link, in talking about news headlines, of course you may have seen the news about our new channel dedicated to motorhoming news, motorhoming, caravanning and campervanning news. So this is basically, I'm moving the news stuff from Herman Hits the Road onto its own dedicated channel. And I did that simply because I wanted to separate Herman and our travel and maintenance videos away from the news stuff. It currently has 600 subscribers, which I think is amazing. And that was in the first week, which is not bad, I think. And recently I've been scouring the news and I found loads of it. So August could be either a double video, 2 videos released in one month, or quite a long one. But we'll see when I actually do produce that video. Now then, we have a viewer story for you. Now, this story was quite long, so I'm not reading it directly from the email, but you may remember back in March, our March update, Andrew and Pam Gledhill sent me a story which we put in the video, and it was about their 59 plate Bursner Nexo T660, which they bought last August, so it's a year ago now. This was their second motorhome in 2 years. Now I'm gonna title this article, this story, Motorhome Recovery Nightmare, and I'm sure many other motorhomes which are broken down on the side of the road have had their nightmare getting recovered back home or back to wherever they need to. In June, Andrew and Pam, they went to Maryport in their motorhome, which is in Cumbria, for a week to celebrate their 12th wedding anniversary, and it normally would take them about 3 to 4 hours to get there from where they live in Worksop. Quarter of a mile away from the campsite, the motorhome broke down, and there was no power steering, which meant it was really tough to get around corners, and the battery light came on. So it was still drivable though. They managed to get to the campsite and check out what the problem was, and they found that the engine pulleys, one of them had broken off, and this is actually, one of these pulleys runs the alternator and the power steering. So that's the reason why I had no power steering. But since they felt that it had ruined their holiday, they decided to go home. So they arranged a recovery with green flag for 7 a.m. on the Monday morning. 12:30, the recovery truck arrived and took them from Maryport to their recovery depot in Morecambe. Along the way, they weren't allowed to have their dogs, I think they have 2, they weren't allowed to have their dogs inside the cab with them. They had to be put in their baskets in the motorhome, and it was a particularly hot day, and they suffer from separation anxiety like most dogs do. So it must have been a nightmare for these dogs, and they weren't very happy. So from Morecambe Depot, they then got picked up by another recovery truck and sent to Sandbach Services on the southbound of the M6. Unfortunately though, they couldn't find a spot to drop them off, so they had to go back over to the other side of the road, over the other side of the M6, and get dropped off on the northbound side. So now they're heading in the wrong direction, and not only that, but they're also in the wrong side of the country. So the next recovery truck picked them up. I've lost count now how many recovery trucks that is though, and then sent them to Kill Services on the M6. And in this recovery truck, it had its own problems. It was in limp mode, meaning that it couldn't go fast a particular speed or something or other. It was gone 12 o'clock by the time they actually got to their destination, but they weren't home yet. So Andrew phoned up Green Flag and they gave him a couple of options. Either they stay in their motorhome, they sleep in their motorhome at Kill Services on the M6, or they will call them a cab and they will take them home. So they decided to get the taxi, which first of all arrived on the wrong side of the carriageway. It ended up on the north side and they were on the south side. But by the time they got into their taxi, got through some roadworks, through all the diversions, it's gone 2 o'clock in the morning. Andrew and Pam were absolutely fed up at this point, and they really not interested in the motorhome lark at all. They feel like they want to get rid of it, and just giving up on motorhomes altogether. Now, Andrew complained to the Camping and Caravanning Club, who sold them the green flag policy, and they've since received an apology from Green Flag and 150 quid, which isn't too bad. It just goes to show you that, if you have a complaint, you should complain. The repair eventually happened, and it cost £600, but the RAC warranty only paid out for £450, which, according to the policy, it's supposed to be like £1,000 per claim. Eventually, Andrew got all the money back after he complained to the RAC warranty website or whatever. So, having to complain to push people to actually get your money back it's not something that you should have to do. So it's very unfortunate that you have to do these kind of things if you want to get your money back and get your claim back. So if you have any stories and photographs of your motorhome, and it could be an old one, could be a brand new one, it's entirely up to you, one that you don't have anymore, then that you would like to share your story with others, then send me an email. I'll put the email that you can send to in the video description, and I may read it out in the next update video. Now then, on to Herman news, and I'm going to let Ads, who is with Herman right now, tell you about it. You might remember way back 7 months ago, it's July now, and back in Christmas, we had a bit of an incident outside our house where someone drove into a bike rack and damaged it, and we couldn't go on holiday with our bikes. But now it's all been sorted. I'm going to have to show you it now. So here is the new bike rack. It's a Tull or Thull, however you like to pronounce that. And the other thing they've managed to do is clean up this area here. There was a dent here, and then there was like a bracket here which held on the old bike rack, so that's been sorted. I also got them to do the bumpers as well. They were cracking and the paint was all flaking off, and when it would rain, it just got worse because the water would get in there and just expand and ruin the whole lot. Not just the back one, also got the front one. And this is the front one, a lot better now. And yeah, it looks good, doesn't it? Just to continue from that, when I got home, I noticed that one of the rear lights, the rear side lights, wasn't actually working. And also one of the lights on the bike rack wasn't actually working. The bulb was a bit rusty, so I fixed that. And there was a loose wire in the connector you plug in the lights into, so I also fixed that. But surely it shouldn't have left them with these two lights out. I mean, it could have happened just there and then as I was driving. I didn't actually check before I left their depot. But that's not all. Back to Ads. However, I then noticed that my new fog lights that I fitted were actually all wobbly, all shaky. They missed a couple of washers that hold it in firmly. This one was even upside down, so they hadn't fitted the fog lights properly. But the major thing was we're missing our grille here. This grille, there's usually a grille here that protects the radiators from stones and birds and such like. In other news about Herman, I just spent last week on my back underneath Herman spraying Lanagard all over the chassis to protect it from rust and the rain. Yeah, so I've been cleaning and preparing and doing lots of spraying, getting it everywhere, all over myself. I'll be doing a video that will be releasing the next week or so, so if you want to check that out. And of course, we have not been doing any traveling since Herman's been getting his bike rack sorted out and his bumpers and putting the Lanagard on. But we have got a couple of plans. We're going away to Cromer soon in this month, back to where I had the problem with the bed. I'm going to show Zoe around there and meet up with Hussein. And next month we're going to Ireland, and we're going to continue our trip around the Wild Atlantic Way, starting off at Tralee, where we ended it last time we were there, which was what, 3 years ago, just before COVID hit us. If you like this video, then check out this one, which is another update video. I'm sure you'll find it very interesting. And if you think that this video has earned it, then here's a subscribe button. Don't forget to send me your motorhome stories. And until next time, goodbye. Click the button. Click it, click it.